The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Open, the one and only show that opens up the Bronx and the world to you. I'm your host, the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B. And I come on each and every night right after the Quiet Storm with Lenny Green. Thanks for joining us this morning. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. Leading off the show will be author Kathy Hernandez. She's joining us to talk about seeking successful relationships as well as how she found happiness. Then CEO of the Bronx Community Health Network, Eleanor Carrier. She's here to detail all of the wonderful things that the organization is doing in the community. And after that, we bring you another episode of Backstage with Bob Lee with our exclusive interview with R&B singer-songwriter Johnny Gill. And then Music Mondays continues with musical guest, The Dan. So stay tuned. All of this and more happening your way. Coming up on deck, right here on Open. Stay right there. And good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. Today is Monday, October 22nd, 2012. Can you believe it? Woo! We are moving through it. Halloween will be here soon, and then Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then the end of the year, New Year. But we got a great show lined up for you today, and our interview with New Edition's Johnny Gill is coming up later on, and he's had a long and versatile career. DJ Kool Clyde, you play his records, you know the man, Johnny Gill, with Heads of State, New Edition. He has a solo career going on, and we're going to get a chance to go backstage and find out all of those things that you don't normally hear from an artist.
First of all, he's a talented artist. I remember before he was down with New Edition, he came out with a song called Rub You the Right Way. He had a lot of songs, My. The song
with Stacey Lattisaw.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Perfect
You're going
combination
back.
And all that stuff.
Yeah, she was the rivalry to Janet Jackson, Stacey Lattisaw. But Johnny Gill, one song that is one of my greatest songs by him is Boyz II Men. Not the group Boyz II Men. It's a song called Boyz II Men. It's
you
a
have
slow
it? You
song.
gonna bring it up?
He took the lead. I think our producers up in the control room has it. But that song is it's a real classic. He took the lead.
Today.
You like that, right? I'm learning from you, man. The best, man. This is what radio does. That song is a hellifying song. He took the lead from New Edition with that particular song.
Yeah.
And just as a young man, I mean, women used to just forget that he was a teenager, man. I mean, they would just... All I could say is this, man. For a young man like that to have a strong voice like that meant so much. And you would always think that he might have been about maybe 30 or 40 years old with that voice. That he was like 16, 17 years old with a voice like that. I remember when he was on Arsenio Hall's show. And that was a great performance that he did. I think Don King was on the interview as well as a few other people, Maxine Priest and so forth. And he just did an excellent show on that. And I always remembered Johnny Gill. And Johnny Gill, I think he segued in when Bobby Brown had left New Edition.
Yeah, he was the last member to come to join New Edition.
Yeah.
But we have a chance to go backstage with him, find out, all the wonderful things that he's going to talk about. I can't tell you everything because...
Did you ask him that question?
What question?
Well, I mean, how was it joining New Edition?
Well, you got to check out the show.
Okay. I just all right. We're gonna leave our
Backstage with Bob Lee.
Yeah.
And it's coming up in a little while. We're gonna continue to do it. We did Dionne Warwick, and we have a number of other people that we're gonna interview backstage. And we want to just get an opportunity to find out all of those things that the entertainer or people watching really don't get a chance to see. And it doesn't pertain only to artists, recording artists. I mean, we want to find out how the doctor became the doctor, how the plumber became the plumber, some of the things that they had to go through.
Right.
So we've been talking about all that. How's this for sports? Giants win, Jets lose, Yanks are out. Debate tonight.
Oh, that's another thing. Oh, that's going to be great.
Make sure you check out the presidential debate.
Well, I know you got so coming up, the Make the Great Foundation coming up November the 15th, which you got great sponsors that'll be there.
And you have something with Jadakiss coming up.
Yeah, this Thursday I'll be with Jadakiss in the Bronx at 1489 Williamsbridge Road. Bronx Net will be covering that, so we want everybody to come out. It's over by the Westchester Square Avenue record shop, Vic's Record Shop, up at Westchester Square by that McDonald's. So Jadakiss will be in the building, and I'll be bringing an exclusive interview here back at Bronx Net.
DJ Coop Clyde weighing in. Thank you so much. We got to take a break right here, but don't go anywhere, because up next we'll come back with author and love guru Kathy Hernandez. You got to check it out.
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool. Really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately. Because time lost is brain lost.
Weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Be free.
Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
No, that's just so good. Welcome back. We are bagging people right here on Channel 67's Open. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. And our first guest is an author whose new book, I Bagged My Husband, details the do's and the don'ts of the dating and how to find that special someone in your life. So please welcome Kathy Hernandez. We welcome you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So how did you go about bagging your husband?
Well, actually,
you put him in one of those potato sacks.
Club them first.
You club them and then put them in here.
Actually, the book is more about a strategy on how to date so that you can find a long-term relationship. And I just detail a little bit about how I went about finding
But you must have been thinking about bagging somebody for a long time. What prompted you to write the book?
Okay, so yeah, it's true. Once you get into your 20s, 30s, something.
So I got to bag something.
You start to move into a different stage of life, and you want to find a partner and somebody you are compatible with, someone preferably for the long term, right? You don't want to be on the dating scene for years and years. So that's basically how I went about it. And what I found was that I kept meeting the same kind of people. I was running in the same kind of circles, you know, trying to be out and have fun.
Was that good or bad for you?
It turned out to be bad because I run into the same people, but they weren't the type of people that I wanted for my future. You know, when you're thinking about long term, you want someone who's going to be a husband, who's going to be a father, if that's what you want, to have a family.
So you were running in circles with people who just wanted to hang out and have
fun?
Want
to have fun, want to party, and that's great for a limited period of time.
So they weren't in settle down mode.
Exactly, and I was totally in settle down mode. So, and I also found that with my girlfriends and guy friends as well, they kept getting into these relationships, and it was cycles that it wasn't productive for their futures, you know. So it was more a strategy to help them find someone instead of feeling your relationship.
So you want to help everybody in your circle because you want to find somebody for yourself.
Exactly.
And then you wanted to help your friends along too.
Exactly.
So is everybody in line?
Well, you see, people don't like to listen.
I
like to give a lot of advice about relationships, and they all come back to me and say, oh, you were right about so-and-so, or you were right about a situation, but they have to go through all the steps and figure out on their own that, you know, their method wasn't working.
Yeah, there's a man around the corner with a bat, and he's hitting people in the head if you go that route. They have to go around the corner.
They have to go and get hit with that bat. Exactly.
Well, maybe that's how you get sacked or bagged. Anyway, give me some wonderful tips that are in this book. Do you have the book with you?
It's online. It's an ebook, so it's available to be downloaded on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, or you can go to my website, looksandlove.com, and you can find it there as well. But one of the main dating tips that I think most people are confused about is called attraction fallacy, where you have to be
fallacy.
You have to. It is exactly what it sounds like. They think that you have to be physically attracted to and in love with someone that you're gonna eventually have a long-term relationship with, and it's not the case. The more you have the idea that you have to have these strong attraction feelings, you date people who are good-looking and whatever, but they don't have any substance. And after you get to know them,
appearance only.
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
Like part of love at first
sight.
It's
part of it. Yeah. It's the first part of it. So you could, I mean, you don't want to get with someone you're not physically attracted to, but it's not the main goal of being in a relationship. So you got to get to other levels.
Right. So you know, but the person doesn't have to be totally physically attractive all the time. You really meet some nice people who are not.
You meet great
totally
people, but if you don't
time.
give them a chance from the onset because you don't think that, you know, you can have that in love emotion, then you really cut yourself short on potentially having a successful relationship.
Look at our studio audience. They're like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe that. So, but when you do see somebody and there's that feeling and that love at first sight, where do you take it? Do you take it to another level? Or this is something that you were going through when you were running in those circles?
This is the strategy that you go through. Fine, you meet someone, okay, do you share similar values? Do you have, maybe you're religious, is that important to you? Is that a value that the other person needs to have? That's why you got to get to the other levels, and you need to figure out, what do you want in your relationship? Who are you looking for? And a lot of times when you start out, you're very emotional, so it's like, woo, everybody's great, and this feels wonderful. You get 3 months later, and it's like, I don't like this person.
So the feeling overshadows everything else.
Exactly, which is why I wrote the book.
So you're in la-la land at first.
Exactly. So it's more systematic approach. Like, do you know this person? You could say you date someone for 8 months, but you've only seen them once a month or twice a month. Really, you've gone on maybe a handful of dates.
So you really don't know that person.
You have no idea who this person is.
You don't know if they throw their dirty socks in the corner.
You don't know. And do you like that?
That may turn people on. I don't know. but
it's important.
How do you get to totally meet a person if you're not living with them, you're not spending all that much time with them?
Well, you have to make it a priority to spend time with someone, to get to know them. If it takes you 8 months to go on 12 dates, maybe that person is not really that into you.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to look outside of that circle.
So how do you find out about the whole
that's where
caboodle?
That's where the book comes in. So each month, so I go through 12 months, 12 levels, and each month you have questions. Do you know their whole name? I know people who've dated that only know their nicknames. I mean, how silly is that? Right. You're with someone for an extended period of time. You don't know where they live. You don't know what they do for work. You know, things are very vague. You need to get to actually know a person to know if they fit into your life.
So, but do you include, or when do you include the love affair?
You mean sex?
Yeah.
Well, everybody has their own probationary period, let's call it.
2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months? A year?
I think that if you're going to be monogamous, and it has to
wait
do
till
with
you get
like
married?
religious, it's all up to you when you're comfortable. But you need to ask yourself, do you know this person well enough to want to become intimate with them? I mean, that takes your own personal
has it,
preference.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? You have this wonderful book out. You're sharing it with a lot of people. You're helping people with this. And
Yes.
is it therapy for you also?
Well, it was as I was writing it, definitely, because I was looking for someone, like I said, and then progressively I went through different relationships, and finally I found someone that was my match, that I could progress with. So now we have a daughter, we're married, and you know.
So for you, how
There's
long did it
success.
take? No, you don't have to. You don't have to. But
No, everybody has their timeline, and it's all about personal preference. The book doesn't tell you how I did it or what my personal view about relationship is. It's more about you finding what you want
it's a feeling.
in your relationship. Well, let's not go through feelings. We'll go through logical steps.
There's songs about that thing.
There's a lot of songs about that, definitely.
Where can people find this book? I know you got it on Amazon
Yeah,
and all that.
online. You can go to my website where I also have different dating tips and life tips. It's looksandlove.com. iTunes has it, iBookstore, Sony.
Okay. And briefly, speak to that person who's in the same situation that you were in when you were running in those circles. How should they get out of that circle? What should they do?
Open up your world. You don't have to go to the club. You don't have to go to the bar. Think about the things that you like or that you would like to do. Think about self-improvement first. If you want to find someone who's going to make your life better, how are you improving your own life? If you open up your own circles, you'll find somebody who'll then fit your gaps.
So it may not be in the club or in the bar. It could be in a bowling alley or in church.
I mean, I really doubt it's going to be in a club or a bar. So I would go to the bowling alley if that's the type of thing you like to do.
There you go, Kathy Hernandez, author, How I Bagged My Husband. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. The love guru, we call her. You'll come back and share some more?
Absolutely.
All right, there you go. All right, we got to take a quick break right here, but when we return, Eleanor Larriere is here from the Bronx Community Health Network, and we'll share more. That's coming up right here on Channel 67's Open.
West Side, we gon' set this party alright, man.
Sir, are you okay?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? Call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost.
We can all be energy savers. It's easy. Turn off lights. Use energy-saving light bulbs. And turn off electronics and appliances when not in use. Make a change and we can really fly. Learn more at energy.gov/kids.
Did you find that flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes. The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster.
For you. Hey, Mom.
You know, girls, I used to cheer back in my day. Ready? Okay! Go team!
That was amazing. Mom, that was amazing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Clean
kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And before I get it, we all self-conscious, I'm just the first to admit it. Yeah, come on. And when it falls down, who you gon' call now? Come on. And when it all falls down, Southside.
Here we go, Southside. Welcome back, everybody, to Open. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guest is the CEO of the Bronx Community Health Network. Here to share more on all of the wonderful things they are doing is Eleanor Larriere. Well, we welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
It's good to be here.
Those cameras are not there. It's just you and I sitting in the most favorite place that you could be on an island. It could be
Barbados.
Barbados, a Bayesian woman right here.
Yes.
All righty. Now, you're the CEO of the Bronx Community Health Network. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, Bronx Community Health Network is a community-based organization and is also what's known as a federally qualified health center. As a federally qualified health center, or FQHC, BCHN, as we are known, provides care to people in the Bronx who live in medically underserved communities. So services are available, comprehensive healthcare services are available to people who live in medically underserved areas, especially people who don't have health insurance or who have health insurance that goes in and out.
So people can just walk up and, say I have a problem, a situation, so they can have this deals with people with no or low-cost health insurance?
It's both. It's no insurance or low cost. We provide low-cost health insurance through our slide-in fee scale. One of the unique features about a community health centers that we don't turn anyone away by, since we are funded by the federal government.
So if they come in with no insurance at all, you can help.
We can help them qualify. If they qualify for health insurance, we can help them with the applications. And if they don't, then we have a slide-in fee scale that begins at 0 for people with very limited incomes, and it goes as high as $60. So that's a great discount for what would normally be a very high
What if they're unconscious
fee.
and you can't check their income level?
If they're unconscious, then they wouldn't come to our health center. They would be in the
emergency
room. Well, I hope they wouldn't bring them to our health centers, that they would take them to the emergency room, because the health center is not geared to dealing with emergencies.
Right.
We deal with routine health care, routine services. So for preventive care, for medicals, physicals, screenings, management of chronic diseases. As you know, the Bronx is an area that is disproportionately affected by chronic diseases like diabetes and HIV/AIDS, asthma, etc. And our health centers are very much geared to provide wonderful care for people with those chronic illnesses.
How long have you been around?
BCHN was has been around since 1996, and we got our first grant in 1997, our Community Health Center grant, and we also got at the same time Ryan White Healthcare HIV/AIDS grant. So those two grants are our basic funding sources.
Do you have a lot of volunteers come through and help out, or you get other sources like from corporations and
we
from the community?
We have some volunteers, but primarily our health centers, I need to clarify, our health centers are not owned by BCHN. We contract with Montefiore Medical Center.
Got it. Okay.
And also with Promesa Systems, which is now a part of the Acacia Network, for them to provide services through their health centers.
So the grants come in through those organizations?
The grants come in through BCHN.
Gotcha.
And through BCHN, we're able to provide the services at 15 health centers, which also includes 5 school-based health centers. So we have school-based health centers at DeWitt Clinton.
Centers within the schools?
Centers within the school. We have school-based health centers at DeWitt Clinton, Walton, which is right next door here, South Bronx, Taft, and Mott Haven campus schools.
So how come you didn't bring any flying fish in today? I'm just saying, Beijing. All right, just breaking it up just a little bit. You have a big fundraiser coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes. As I mentioned, we are funded primarily by grants through our federal grants, but we also need to be able to raise funds that are not designated for special purposes so that we can broaden the scope of the work that we do.
Yeah.
So, for example, in addition to the health centers, one of our major activities is community health promotion and education.
Yes.
And we do that through our patient navigation program. We recruit people from the community who are familiar with the cultures, who live in the community, who can speak the language, and we train them to go out and educate patients, educate community residents about health. What are the risk factors for diabetes, for example? How do you take care of yourself? How do you take charge of your care? And if they don't have health care, to encourage them to register at one of our health centers. And if they don't have health insurance, to provide the assistance for that.
Go ahead.
So the gala that we have, our annual gala, is one way of raising undesignated funds so that we can broaden those programs. For example, other programs like Reach Out and Read, which is a program that there is an organization that does that, but they don't always have the funding. So recently we helped to start a Reach Out and Read program at one of our health centers.
Yeah.
We'd like to do more work like that.
All right, so when is this fundraiser?
The fundraiser is on November 8th. It's at Marina Del Rey in the Bronx. And as you know, you're going to be our MC.
I am?
Yes, you are.
Oh.
And we're looking forward to that.
Oh.
So
that's coming up. Okay, Marina Del Rey.
Yes.
I'm the host.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be there.
Yes, you'll be there.
I have it on my calendar. I have it on my calendar?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I think your wife has it on your calendar.
Okay.
Okay. So we're looking forward to having a great time. It's a 70s disco theme. So you can come with your big afro, your bell bottoms, your boots, you know.
Could I just bring a picture of what I used to look like?
We can do that. We can all do that. Okay. And so our premier sponsor for that event is Montefiore Medical Center.
Right.
Also, other sponsors also include Acacia Network Promesa, the Woodlawn Run for a Cause, Golden Crust Caribbean Bakery and Grill. And our honorees for the event are Richard Celeberti, who is the Senior Vice President at Montefiore Medical Center. He is also the Executive Director for what's now Montefiore Wakefield Campus.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Ellis, who is the development person at St. Raymond School for Boys. And Chris did a wonderful thing for BCHN, included us this year in his walk, his Woodlawn Run for a Cause, and the funds part of the funds from that go to BCHN. And also our other honoree is Lowell Hawthorne, who is the founder and CEO of Golden Crust.
Which I was going to ask you if I can host that, but you said I already have that down.
You already have it down. You better be there.
How can people get involved? And I got to do a quick wrap up.
Okay. People can go to our website, www.bchnhealth.org, and you will see a link that says Gala. You can go to the Gala, purchase tickets online, or you can call our office at 718-405-7720. There are discount tickets are available up until November 1st.
There you go. I know I have it on the calendar, but I don't even look that far out. If it's there, I got it. I got you covered.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. We'll be there.
Okay.
Eleanor Laria, CEO of the Bronx Community Health Network. Make sure you check it out. All that information is right there on the screen. And we'll take a break right here. You'll come back and share more with us.
We'd love to.
Just call our producer, Chris, and we'll take good care of you. We'll take good care of you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Stick around for a little while.
Okay.
Hello, we got to take a quick break. We're pleased to bring our own exclusive interview with R&B superstar Johnny Gill and our latest edition of Backstage with Bob Lee.
Say 5 + 5.
Here we are backstage with Bob Lee, and I'm here with my man Johnny Gill. Been in the business since he was 5. Yeah. And, you know, we're going to go straight to it. Let's find out, you know, you started back in the day. Your father was a minister.
Yeah,
And you were in a group with your family.
With my family.
Brothers.
Yeah, my brothers and my mom. And then later became a part of a complete family group because it was my grandmother and my aunt.
Everybody got involved.
It was like yeah. So, you know, and I was like in just separate groups because it was still my brother and my brothers and I. And then we had our own little thing, and then it was my mom and her sisters and my grandmother and their group. So we was doing both of those. You know, I was playing and singing in both groups. So it was a great time coming up. That's what built and gave me my foundation.
And people know you as a vocalist, but you also write, you produce, you play instruments.
Play instruments. It's all those things, and people always told me for many years, like, how come in the concert you never play any of the instruments, you never sit down and sing and all that stuff? And I always felt like I didn't think people really would honestly have that much of an appreciation for me sitting down playing instruments and doing. I always just thought it was really kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, people come, they want to get to the hits, and they want you to just not play around. They want so I've always been that guy that's go, let's just get straight to the point, because you know, to not make it such a long night for people. But I've learned over.
Told them?
Huh?
You should have said, my. I'm playing my vocal cords right now.
Right.
That's an instrument.
But, you know, it's like, so for me, you know, it's like as you get older, you start to realize that there are people that are out there that have an appreciation for a musician. You know, so I've learned that as I gotten older that, you know, it's okay to take time and somewhat in a show and have some time, be a little bit self-indulgent, and that means doing some things sometimes that you want to do and get back to the point. You know, just don't take too long, but you can have your moment. And it's part of the whole being an artist, and you know.
Yeah. So you came out of the group with your family, and then what happened next?
Well, after I came out of the group with the family, I started. One day we were getting ready to move back to Columbus, Georgia, and I grew up with Stacey Lattisaw. Yeah, from Washington, D.C., and I grew up with Stacey Lattisaw. And I remember her calling me one day and saying that she had talked to the president of the record company about me, and that he wanted to hear my voice. And I made a song. I actually made a demo tape where on a $29 tape recorder, you know, press to record. And
that's, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Me and my guitar. No, nothing. There was no, you know. And God bless Henry Allen's.
$29.
So he heard something that obviously nobody else could hear. I remember Pat Shields. Now she's out in Los Angeles. She said when she first heard the tape, she was listening. She goes, "What are you gonna do with that?" Because there was no production, no nothing. It was just me singing. Right. And he got excited, got me on the phone, asked me to sing from over the phone. I sang from over the phone. Then he called the people from upstairs to come down. He goes, listen to this. I think I sang probably about 4 or 5 times over the phone. And at the first time I talked to him.
That's the toughest thing to do, sing something over the phone.
Yeah, he had everybody. Listen to this. Listen to this. John, you know, I think we're going to...
And they had the speakerphone on the other
end. Yeah. I think we're going to bring you up to New York. Have you ever been on an airplane before? No, sir. Yeah? Well, we're going to bring you up to New York. Yeah, we're going to make you a star. Oh, Henry Allen. Bless his heart.
Yeah. So then that was a perfect combination with you and Stacey Lattisaw.
Well, before that, I had my first album, which I recorded with Freddie Perrin. Freddie Perrin, who wrote and produced a lot of the Jackson stuff in the earlier years, and worked with Motown and all those different people. But he produced my very first album that introduced me to the world. But it was definitely not a success. But it was just the beginning of my introduction of his business. And then after that, we did. There was an album I did that was Half Crazy, I think that was.
Oh yeah.
Which was the second album. and somewhere in between, whether it was Half Crazy, I don't know, the duet album with Stacey, Perfect Combination, but I think Perfect Combination and then Half Crazy, if I'm not mistaken. And the rest was pretty much history as I began to continue to embark on my career. It was like, you know, we looked around and, you know, I after the Half Crazy album, I went to to MCA with Gerald Busby, and never put out an album because he went over to Motown. So and that was.
So you get caught in between?
Well, yeah, sort of, because it was like Gerald when he went over to MCA, New Edition was already over there, and it was kind of like getting caught was sort of like when he went over from MCA, because he had his hands on a couple of the projects with New Edition, but when he went over to Motown, I was still part of his deal was I get to take Johnny with me to Motown.
There you go.
So I was on MCA for a brief minute as a solo artist, but and when the guys came about that opportunity about us hooking up and doing this for his New Edition, I still had the solo career thing intact, where I still had obligations to Motown, so everybody understood that. So we just put that on the back burner as we started the whole thing with New Edition. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I say LSG, what would you say?
Wow. Levert, Sweat, and Gill. Wow. Gerald Levert, my dear friend that I really honestly miss every day. What an honor. I'm glad, so happy that I had got a chance to work with him, because we were like partners in crime. It was like we had the thing. We used to, when I would do concerts, and I'll go, okay, yeah, we're gonna. I'm here. I'm gonna be here, and this person on. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, I'm coming, and then he'll go, hey, I'm on the show with such, and he'll go, yeah. I said, I'm on my way, and everybody used to go, hey man, that's not fair. You guys shouldn't do that. That's because he come out and wreck the house. I come out and wreck the house. It's like, and everybody go, hey man, that's double teaming. It's like, come on man, y'all, that's not fair.
The person who came up behind you had a rough time.
Yeah. So we used to laugh, but it was my partner in crime. We used to, and then to finally get a chance for us to work and then record and do an album together was just. I'm just so.
So was
grateful.
LSG first? You did Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat first before you went into New Edition?
No, New Edition was first before LSG. I did two. We did the two New Edition albums. We did Heartbreak and then Home Again, and I think, and then the other record with Bad Boy. But
you went back solo for a second.
And then I went back solo. Yeah. Well, I went solo right after the Heartbreak album. I went and did the Johnny Gill album, which was the My album. That was right after we finished up with the Heartbreak tour.
Who's rocking out with the Quiet Storm on BLS?
Yeah.
Bonhoeffer did during the week.
Yeah.
Did the edition.
That's right. Yeah. So it's just crazy because when I look back, and it's hard to look back at the career when I'm thinking ahead of what I still want to continue, what I want to accomplish, and having those goals. It's so hard to look back. But when I started looking back over some of the stuff, from being, as a solo artist to a duo with Stacey Lattisaw, and then coming into a group with New Edition, and then being solo and having great success, and then going into another group, LSG, and then having this other group with myself and Bobby and Ralph, which still exists, Heads of State. It's like I'm just looking at my career and looking at what we've been able to do, and I still feel that there's so much more to be done. I still feel that there's so much more to be done. I don't still feel that within listening to those that talk about the people that made a contribution in this industry, my name don't come up on a regular. It's like, so it means not that I'm bitter. It means I still got work to do. It means I'm still going to continue to work harder because
we're talking about you on BronxNet. We're talking about you at WBLS.
Wow! I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because I work very hard, and I'm true to what I do. I believe in what I'm doing, and hey, I'm always grateful. I've had my times as a kid growing up in this business. We have this thing that it's called getting drunk. That means being able to coming into this business and everybody being surrounded around everybody that tells you everything with yes, 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 what did you want to hear? And it's like, I've been through all of that, but through the grace of God to come full circle, because everybody don't make it out of it. It's been cool. It's been a blessing, and I don't take anything for granted. After 16 years recording this new album, still winning. To be on the Grammy ballot right now in 3 different categories. Hey, man, it's a blessing. To be nominated for a Soul Train Award this year, it's a blessing. To get the Lifetime Achievement Award this year, it's a blessing. And I don't take nothing for granted. Nothing.
Yeah, you deserve it. You're not new to this. But being drunk, that's like a groupie saying, and anything goes, you just go with the flow. And that's why it's so important to know a little bit about this business, a lot about this business before you get involved, because people can take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, my definition too is being drunk is the fact that when everything is rolled out and you like the red carpet, when you can have whatever you want, it's like everybody's just there at your beck and call. It's like you begin to, and that I see some of the acts, entertainers, period, athletes, people that have that energy of just being, a little high and arrogant in some ways, and that's what it'll do to you. Success can do that to you, and understanding how to put that in perspective. There's no blueprint. There's nothing that shows you or teaches you how you're supposed to deal with success. It's like you have to learn it as you go. So obviously you start to feel like, hey, I'm on top of the world. Everybody's screaming my name. I can do whatever I want to do. And it's like it puts things in perspective. I mean, think about some of the artists that we see and entertainers that we see that still have the attitude that I can do whatever I want and get away with it because I am who I am. And I can get in trouble. Yeah, getting in trouble with the law, get out. Every time you get in trouble, it's all those things that allows you to think that you're above everybody, and that's being drunk. That's feeling the level of power, feeling like you're just invincible. And
euphoria.
Yeah.
But how do you contain that when you reach a certain level? I mean, a lot of people in it, and we meet as an announcer, radio and TV personalities, we meet a lot of people. We know who's in this category, who's in this category, and who's smooth with you, and who's down to earth with you. Because a lot of people can't be down to earth for some reason, and they don't realize that people buy your records. People are what gets you into where you are, into that realm there.
Yeah.
So you have to come back and respect that and notice that and recognize that.
Absolutely.
And it's the people that get you where you
Absolutely, yeah. And it takes all of us. I don't think for 1 minute, whether it's, especially in our industry, music industry, nobody on this planet, I don't care how successful you are, you didn't do it by yourself. Right. Those records that I made, remember, somebody had to go and press up those records. Somebody has to go and deliver them to the radio station. Somebody gets up at the radio station in the morning who has to be on air, who has to play those records to get them out there for people to be able to hear those songs. And unless I would just be have a basement full of great music that nobody knows anything about, and would just be, a great talent that nobody would know about. So no matter how successful I've become, I didn't do it by myself. And understanding that and coming to accept that really helps you to put life and put things in perspective as you continue to move forward and become successful. You can enjoy it and have a greater appreciation for it today.
You did TV too.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah,
You looking forward to doing more?
I would love to do, television. It's kind of
let the cameras roll.
One of those things that it's just a challenge, and it brings on a whole nother side, bring out a whole nother side of me that I think that I could still work on and get better at. But it's just a challenge, and being able to mix things up. That's probably one of the reasons why when you look at me with the groups that I've been in, and you see 1 minute I'm a solo artist, you see 1 minute you see me with LSG, you might see me with Heads of State, or the things that I do it because I always like to just change things up and then never get comfortable or get complacent. So it causes you to always think and look at what else is out there that I can be challenged with. And television does. It definitely does. I mean, especially I think probably out of all our form of arts, I think acting and television, it's like you get to go into being somebody else at times, playing another character, and coming up with trying to make that believable. It's like, that's a challenge, and there's an art to that. And looking at the Denzels and knowing these people that are great friends, I have such great respect for them because of that. So I enjoy it. I find it to be fun. Will that ever be something that would take a president over my singing career? Probably not. Probably not. But Mike is where I'm most comfortable.
That was Backstage with Bob Lee, Johnny Gill right there. That was part 1. Stand by for part 2. We'll let you know more, okay? Keep it right here. Channel 67's open. The beat goes on and on and on until the break of dawn as we bring you Music Mondays. Check it out. Our next guest is a singer-songwriter, actress, and model, and she DJs with Cool Clyde. I'm only kidding about that. She has worked on television, does a lot of roles on The Good Wife, Gossip Girl, and Law & Order. Here to perform her song, please welcome to the open stage, The Dan.
Times have been better. I remember when times were much better. Oh, and now it's like whatever. We don't talk, we don't touch, you don't call. I'm not asking for too much. Why can't we reflect love? Notice the way we make our ways apart. Da 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 da. These words are coming from my heart. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. We try to smooth it out. It's only been me, but I keep trying anyway. But by the way, I can't fake the way I feel. I wish you would just keep it real. That's why I say it, Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. My goodbye letter. I can't look you in the face, so this is my goodbye letter. There's no way we can be together. You just lie, you just cheat. My heart's weak, can't take no more. You know what I did? I left the keys by the door, ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended off brand new, baby. It was better off new, baby. Ended brand new. I'ma act brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new.
There you go, the Dan. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Hi, how are
Very good, very good.
Thank
Am I
you.
kicking stuff down here? How are you? Now, what are you playing over here? Hit that again. A who? Cajon.
Cajon.
Sounds like something else, but it's good. It sounds good. Now, how are you? You came up with the name with the Dan.
Right.
How? You are Dan.
Yeah, I'm Dan. It's kind of a long story, but I used to play sports, and they said my full name wasn't short enough to like yell on the court. So we went with Dan.
There you go.
I just put a little title in the front of it.
Well, you're very good.
Thank you.
So what sports did you play?
I played basketball, and I ran track.
Get out of here. All right. So your feet were going like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you perform barefoot all the time?
All the time, unless we're outside.
You get the
But-
feel for the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I like to, be level
Yeah.
and one with the ground.
Barefoot and singing. And who's this young man over here?
JT Maple.
JT with the guitar. You've been playing for a long time?
Yeah, a little bit.
How did you meet up with the whole crew here?
The girl that actually plays keys with us most of the
Uh-huh.
time when we're not doing acoustic, she introduced JT to me. He plays at her church.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I met him at a gig in the city.
And this is Mark right here.
Mark Bell.
Mark Bell. Now, a lot of people, that's in big demand right there, the drums. Instead of bringing the whole drum set with the snares and all that stuff. It sounds good, too. I like that. I was, like, amazed at the way that thing sounded. Now, so you've been singing for a long time.
Yeah. And I've been doing acting. I've been singing since I was little, but professionally and, like, really getting out there probably the last 2 years in the city.
Yeah. And so you do TV also, Law and Order, and
Yeah, I've had some some little appearances. I did plays my whole life, and now doing commercials.
so
I had
you're
like
comfortable with the whole thing.
I am.
Yeah.
I like it.
So where do you want to take your music career?
I'm finishing up my EP right now, and we're releasing it
Yeah,
in January.
Look at you, Mark. You're down with the EP. You down with it, aren't you? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so we're finishing
RT,
that,
right?
and then working on some showcases and other places where I can perform for a
Mhm.
bigger audience.
Good. So where are you performing next?
I believe I'm doing Eric Roberson Soul Village.
Mhm.
I think December, but just waiting to confirm the date.
So you started singing. Did you start doing acting, modeling, or singing first?
I think I was singing to Mariah Carey's first tape
Get
first,
outta here, look at
and
you.
then I started piano lessons at 5, and then I
Oh.
started doing plays at 5.
All right. So you can hit a little Mariah Carey?
I'll do some of that falsetto
Let me
in the
hear
next
just-
song.
Let me hear just a little piece of it right now.
It's so brand new.
Uh-huh.
It's so brand new.
She's a good friend too. I love her. She's a nice person. Nice person. You meet a lot of people in the business. Some
Oh,
of them
yeah.
they'll never get like that. Where
Oh
you-
no. I'm always going to be barefoot and smiling.
Barefoot and smiling and singing, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. No matter how far you go in life, always remember that the people are the people who are going to buy your records. So a lot of people, they reach a certain plateau and then they forget about these people buying their records, so they become abrasive. Some of them, not all of them, but I know a lot of them.
I used to intern for Wendy Williams.
Oh,
And,
yeah?
yeah.
Oh, why did you bring up Wendy Williams?
In that studio, because I saw you at WBLS
Oh,
back then.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you run into you see everyone's different personalities.
Right. And you see
But
a
the
lot of
most
people
humble
coming to the
people
studio.
like have the best audiences.
Uh-huh. But Wendy's a real cool person. She's a true professional. I must say that about Wendy. She's a true professional. So that was a good person to use it on your resume?
It's there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere. You watch her show? She has a nice TV show.
No, I don't really watch.
Because you're
TV
busy
much.
doing your
I
own
am,
thing,
I am,
right? Yeah. The TV just takes up a whole lot of your time. So where do you want to go from here with your singing career? You have your EP coming out.
Right. And I mean, if I can find a label that just will work with like my dream and all
Look
that.
into the camera right now. Oh, which she's right there? Look into the camera right now and just tell them what you want.
I just want to be able to perform all over. If I have a label backing me or if I have my audience helping me do that, then I'm fine with it.
There you go. She needs your help. Help her move to the next level. All right? So
Right.
you're going to sing us another song?
I am.
Okay.
It'll be my single. It's out now, actually.
Hey, give her a big round of applause, everybody. The Dan is in the house. Check him out, check him out, check him out. Now slide over here. Did I do the electric slide?
I know she called asking about my man. I know she called asking for a hand. I know. I said I know she that's why you're right here with me. So now she realizes what you're worth. She knows that her diamond wasn't dirt. She knows, she knows, she knows she lost her chance with you. Everything you deserve is right here with you. So here I am, it feels so good. Come here, boy, let me show you how love feels. Here I am, it feels so good. Come here, boy, let me show you how love feels. Here I am, it feels so good. Come here, boy, let me show you how love feels. Here I am, it feels so good. Come here, boy, let me show you. There's nothing I wouldn't do for your love. See, I would run endless miles for your touch. See, I'm here and I'm yours. I'm ready for war. So just say those words too. Now say those words to me. Just say those words to me. Our love will forever be. So here I am.
The Dan in the house. No, make a whole lot of noise, y'all. Make a whole lot of noise. Studio audience and audience at home, thank you so much for tuning in and checking it out. The Dan, where do we go from here again? You got the EP?
I have the EP
Where can we
coming
get the EP?
You can check my website, IamTheDan.com.
I am the Dan. I am the man.
My Twitter
She's
is
the Dan.
IamTheDan.com. Everything online is IamTheDan.com. So feel free to find me, hit me up.
There you
I'll
go.
let you know about all the next shows, and
All
you
right.
can download the single now for free.
JT, Mark, thank you guys so much. The Dan, you the Dan. You the Dan. Thanks so much. Maybe we'll get Wendy Williams to come on with you too. Or you'll be on her show with your
Yeah, I
EP
can
one
do
day.
that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, that's all for us. Give her another big round of applause, everybody. Thanks to all of our guests for tuning in and checking it out. You're going to take us out, okay? And thank you, the viewer, for tuning in and checking it all out. Don't forget, tune into an all-new Open this Wednesday with host Darren Jaime, and check it out tonight, the debates, all right? And I'll be on right after that on the 107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. From all of us here at Open, have a great day. Love you all. Peace. Take us home.
Starting to love you, always believed you, never deceived you. Now you're asking these questions, I'm only guessing you're guilty of them. I've never seen you act so distant, as if I don't know who you are. We've been together for such a long time. You don't share your thoughts and feelings as openly as you once did. Wonder what you're keeping away from me. Starting to love you, always believed you,